I've heard rumors about an airline that won't make you wear masks, won't make you get a experiment jab of any kind. It's called the Freedom Airways. Please tell me this is true and it's actually going to happen.
Yes, so I am very proud to be a co-founder of freedomairway.com. So freedomairway.com. And if people are trying to take action in 2021, please go onto the website, and even just views is good for us. But also we are looking for people to pay for membership of Freedom Airway, $100, $200, $500. And if we can get, some thousands of members, we have 3 areas we're working in. We're actually going to lease flights, right, from airlines, like, for example, London to Miami, or maybe Dublin to Sydney. And we're open to fly all around the world. And we will use the membership money to down pay on return flights all around the world. And we would love, the most interest that we've got from people in the world is to get out of Australia, because we have a survey. So please become a member, $100, $200, $500. And we're delighted that, people who are freedom fighters like Catherine Austin Fitz has also become a member. So we're going to actually provide flights, and we will lease them from airlines that already will then have all of the insurance and will provide the crew and all the regulations. And once we have enough members, we'll put the flights, people can then book and pay for the seats on the flight. And what we are initially doing is from countries which are open, okay? So where there is no masks. So Florida is an open state, and leaving countries you don't need, and we would ensure that, in the airport, you would not have to wear masks, and that you will not have to fill in passenger locator forms, not track and tracing, and no vaccines. So we also want to move the world's tourists and the world's economy to countries that have not shut down. So you could envision flights between, we'll say, Dublin, Miami, Brazil, or Brazil, Tanzania, right? So we want to, and I want to, push the positive, uplifted economy so we can push the tourist industry of the world to like the 10 countries that are open, to also give an economic boost to those countries and their prime ministers and the economies. If people become members, it's to down pay on us to pre-purchase flights, and also to develop policy to inform people like we were saying, on how they can stand up and know their freedoms and rights, and then to actually, take precedence cases around the world. So initially the flights will be from countries that are open. We want to move, we'll say, the 20% or half of the world's population that want to push back. And so it's hard for people, in Australia to feel that to do something. The lockdown only works through fear, and that people feel that they are not empowered to push back because this system is so big. You can challenge that by tackling individual people doing unlawful behavior, like we said before, but also people can sign up to freedomairway.com, become members. And also we are making, and I may be making, if I get interest, my shares in the company available, so for cash investment, so that we can provide more airways. So there is what's called an angel share program. And I'd be delighted if people want to email me at dolorescahill.com and put angel share, or they can put an email into freedomairway.com and say they're interested in the angel share.
So Dolores, just to clarify, if I can get 400 people to say they want to go from Melbourne to London, the same place, so that it's 400 people on one flight,
Exactly.
Freedom Airways would then book a flight, ask for all of the mandates, the masks, all that to be waived. And if you can't get that approved, then we can all individually complain for liability to our health ministers, to the airports, to write letters, and in theory be eligible for $10,000, $20,000 per person for damage.
So we would then, exactly. So each of those 400, then we would draft the letters, right, with you, that they can also write the letters to the head of the person who's running the airport in Melbourne, right, whoever is requiring them unlawfully to fill in the passenger locator, and the head of the police responsible for the airport authority, as well as the Minister for Health and the Prime Minister. But of course, we have lots of interest as well from Sydney, so you could do a flight from Sydney to New York. So, but 400 people from any country, but also the most interest we've had is for people who want to leave Australia. And of course to return. So we would be delighted to have, one of the second or third flights to be either, from Australia or to Australia. and to open up your tourist industry as well.
With the Freedom Airways, when you do have your first flight to Sydney, you better be on it. and
oh, I would love to be on it. I've been to Australia, and we have a survey on the on the freedomairway.com for people to ask us which flight they would want, right? And the biggest answers we've had is people who want to leave Australia. But listen, we will ideally as well, I would like to put up flights for people to pre-book if they want. And if people want to help me, I may make some of my percentages in the company and shares in the company available, because as I mentioned very briefly, if I did get money, I also want to set up and support a new bank, Professor Richard Werner in England, with any money that I get. And I'm setting up a movement in Ireland. I did buy a castle, which I envisaged in 2019 to be a centre for health and heritage in our future, because obviously this has been planned for a while. And I envisage it as like the iconic headquarters of the United Nations or the administrative headquarters of a new health regulatory body in the world. So